The challenges of being vegan, and no one is perfect. Challenge number one, feeling tired, making sure that you get enough protein to ensure that you manage that sensibly. It's really important because we don't get enough protein. Well, we do get enough protein, let me retract that. But if you're not conscious, then there is a risk of people who follow a vegan diet not considering getting enough protein in their diet. As much as I'm anti the idea of animal products, they do possess quite high levels of protein. So you can get more than enough protein on a vegan diet just if you're actively conscious and ensure that you have high protein produce in your diets, and just manage that and ensure that you are just mindful that you are meeting that protein need in your daily diet. Challenge number two, having those cravings. I did do a video on how to manage cravings as a vegan. I will add the link in the description below. But it is a realistic issue that some people have, myself included, managing those cravings. I have a real soft spot for cheese and chocolate. Those are my main cravings, especially at the end of the day when I've been working all day and I am tired. Also, when it's that time of the month and I want to eat a bucket of chocolate. But I actually prefer eating dairy-free products over, actual cheese from a cow, because I've been eating dairy-free for so long. My taste has changed and I really prefer to eat chocolate that's made with maybe nut milk or soya milk. It's just has a less acidic-y, sickly feeling. The same with cheese from cow products or sheep or goat's milk, anything from an animal. It just has this sort of pungent kind of smell about it. I've become more and more aware of that the longer and longer I've avoided eating that. And I think that's something that maybe vegans acknowledge, is that their taste changes and they would prefer a vegan burger with vegan cheese over a meaty burger with dairy cheese. Just because the smell is different now, you start to really notice that it's a product from an animal, and it has a certain kind of smell and a certain kind of flavour. The other bonus from being dairy-free, if any of you ladies or gentlemen are suffering with acne, highly recommend you look into how much dairy you're incorporating into your diet if you're not vegan, because I found dairy to be incredibly aggravating and was one of the reasons I looked into my diet from the beginning, and it just caused really severe acne. Not even just acne, literally inflammation in my glands, rashy red skin, big almost boils, and it was just my body trying to repel this product that I was eating. And it's not until I came off of it and all of that cleared up that I realised that that's what it was. And I know that because there have been a couple of occasions where I've unintentionally or have been unaware that I've accidentally eaten something that's had dairy in it that I didn't realise. And then within a few hours, I literally react with the same symptoms. So I know that's the connection. So I would highly recommend that if that's something you're struggling with, give that a try. Just go completely dairy free and just monitor how your skin is doing. Challenge number three, finding the right products can be tricky if you don't have good supermarkets or you're not perhaps very creative in the kitchen. It does involve you thinking about what you're cooking, and it does involve getting a little bit more creative than just making a ham sandwich or a cheese sandwich, and really thinking about alternatives that you can make. You can make anything that's the same, but just with small variations. So if you like chili con carne, just change the mince for soy mince. If you like lasagna, just make your own white sauce and avoid obviously using animal mince in your lasagna. You can always use, I use chopped up broccoli with tomato sauce and onions and garlic and pimp it up, and that is my layering in my lasagna, and it's absolutely banging. So you don't need to not have the same things. If you have, you know, I love mac and cheese, and I've done a recipe for that on my channel as well, and I just love mac and cheese. I love cheese, you know, and it's not the cheese from the animal product, it's the zingy taste. I like the thick creamy sauce, and that can all be replicated using dairy-free products, so you can still scratch that itch but without having a reaction afterwards or inflammation in the body. And also you're supporting animals and ensuring their welfare. Challenge number 4, being around people who don't understand veganism, or perhaps even are quite anti-veganism, or feel threatened by it or judged by it, or think it's all just a load of rubbish and think you're weird. That's fine, each to their own, everyone's on their own journey. It's a tricky one. Most people I find are actually very kind and polite and quite interested when you say you're vegan. They're like, oh wow, yeah, that's what, you know, made you decide to move to veganism. Quite almost inspired by that, and if you have any recipe suggestions, they're quite open to trying that. Obviously there are people who just have had that kind of diet for such a long time, they're not prepared to change their diet, they don't see why they should change their diet, and they think you're just very strange. Sometimes you have to choose your battles, and you want to be available for people who are interested in finding out more, and just be open. And that, I find, creates space for people to come to you to find out more information, rather than you ramming it down their throat, and then that seems to create resentment, and then people are more closed off to asking questions and finding out why, and maybe even considering trying to eat a little bit less dairy or a little bit less meat, or consider some of their health issues or weight issues or whatever, that there may be a link to the foods that they're eating. Because that's, I think, the most obvious place to start if you're having certain health issues. What we put in our body is often, you know, an indicator of what's going on inside our body and what is showing on the outside of our body as well. Challenge number 5, being able to convert to veganism and staying on that path without having any setbacks, or being a full vegan and feeling bad if you do have a setback, or feeling like you want to give up being a vegan. Maybe you've tried it for 6 months and you feel like it's just not for you, and but you feel guilty about that, or you do want to do it but you're just really struggling to maintain it. You feel like you're missing out on certain foods, it's a real drag, you're having to really think about what you're eating, and you keep falling off the bandwagon, but you really do want to be vegan and persevere with it. You found that it's really helped certain health issues and you're just feeling better in yourself. So my suggestion would be, and we've all been there, by the way, no one is perfect, like the title of this video. It's a journey. Sometimes it takes several goes to get something right. Sometimes people have been vegan for 5-10 years and then they go around to Auntie Mabel's for Christmas and she sneaks in some pigs and blankets and you didn't realise you thought they were vegan. Or you get wasted and you eat a bacon sandwich at 3 a.m. in the morning and you don't really know what you're doing, and then you feel sick the next day. I mean, there's all sorts of scenarios. It's not something I've done recently, but I have heard of some scenarios of similar things happening like that, and it's okay. We're all human at the end of the day. People are genuinely coming from a good place and just trying to do their best. So if it was me, you know, just try not to be too hard on yourself would be my advice. If it's something you really want to persevere with, don't just give up because you stumbled the first few times. The best thing to do is get back on the horse, so to speak, and persevere and keep trying. Every setback is a learning curve. Look at why you were set back. Was it because you weren't eating a varied enough diet? Was it because you were tired, you weren't getting enough protein in there? protein shakes and things and powders are a really good supplement for a vegan diet. Make sure you're getting enough supplements. It's so important. B12 is a big one. Check that you're getting enough calcium and all those sorts of good stuff. Iron as well. So that's a really important one. Are you around people who aren't vegan? Is your partner not vegan? That can obviously be a challenge if where you're both going shopping together, or if you're cooking together in the house and the fridge is full of these amazing looking meat products and you're really struggling to move over to the vegan side, but you really want to. You might need to have a discussion with your partner about that, or just find ways in where you can prevent temptation. Perhaps have a separate fridge for the beginning until you get into a more sustainable way of doing things. I know that sounds a bit ridiculous, but it's doable. My partner and I have separate shelves, separate cupboards, but we're both vegan, so it's not such an issue. It's more just to make sure we don't nick each other's foods. So I worked to the principle of, 80-20, so 80% good, so you're really sticking to the vegan diet, you're doing really well, and 20% bad. I mean, I'm full vegan, so my 20% bad is more things like not eating perhaps as healthily as I should be. So for example, eating something that's got sugar that I really shouldn't eat, or eating something that's got gluten that I know is going to give me probably an upset tummy that evening, but it's just so damn good and I want to eat it anyway, like some really nice bread or something like that. But if you're struggling with the vegan transition, perhaps your 80-20 could be 80% vegan and then 20% having a bit of a less strict diet, perhaps the weekend. If you're being invited out with friends, that could be your 20% kind of chill time, or even being invited round to someone's house for dinner who aren't vegan. And that may just help you to make that transition, and then you could change it to 15% bad, and then 10% bad, and then 5% bad, and then eventually you're there and you can maintain that and you're feeling strong. So thank you for watching. I hope you find these videos useful. If you're interested in health and well-being, meditation and all good things spiritual, I've started posting some videos, which is Lou Goes Green. So those videos cover nice things like that, nice relaxation videos, all those good stuff. If you're interested in Lou's Clean Eats videos, which are vegan, gluten-free and sugar-free inspired videos, then check those out on my channel too. Hope you found this useful, and continue with your vegan journey, or your health journey, or your gluten-free journey, sugar-free journey, whatever your journey is. Keep at it. You're doing great. I hope you're happy and healthy and have a fantastic new year. Thanks so much again for checking out that video. I hope that was helpful in some way. And if you want to check out Lou's Clean Eats, I'll add a video to the end of this, and you can check out gluten-free, vegan, sugar-free recipes. I hope you enjoy those.